It's time now on Gold 101.5 FM KRJM and 106.5 FM KRJB for Access Health. Streaming live at krjbradio.com and krjmradio.com. Access Health is presented to you by Bridges Care Community of Ada, the Foston Chiropractic Clinic, Thrifty White Pharmacy of Ada, Essentia Health Ada, Dr. Joyce Dental Clinic of Holstead, and Thrifty White Pharmacy and Gifts, Main Street in Mahnomen.
Joining us for our Access Health program here today is Dr. Nick Campos from down in California, and he's actually just wrote a book here this year. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People on Twitter, and I know a lot of people are starting to log onto the Twitter and get themselves some accounts and that type of thing. But Doctor, thanks for taking some time first off, and let's get a little brief rundown of kind of who you are and what you do first.
Kurt, thank you for having me today. So I am a doctor of chiropractic and also a message spreader. So I'm spreading information out into the world on health, wellness, natural health primarily, but all health, wellness, inspiration, personal development, and just helping people live amazing lives. But I am a chiropractor. I do see patients and help people with pain conditions and just keeping healthy.
All right. And spreading the messages about health and wellness and many different things, too, with information. Obviously, there's a lot of information out there, and right before we got on here is the fact that there's an overload, it seems like, with Facebook, Twitter, and people posting whatever they can and getting their hands on. But this book for you, too, kind of weeds out some of the things and to try and help people find what they're looking for, basically, a little bit easier, doesn't it?
Well, absolutely. The world is changing, and it's doing so rapidly as technology advances, and it's advancing faster and faster and faster. We're having to keep up with those changes. The way that we spread information among people and between people is now being done in a different way. So message spreading or marketing was done primarily through mass marketing in the past, and that's now changed to a more one-on-one individual type of interacting, which is the social media. And it's a very powerful medium. And it's so powerful that most of the big businesses, they realize this and they're jumping on. They wouldn't do it if they didn't see a potential for them to put out their product or their service or spread their message. And the reality is that all of us can put forth whatever it is that we're trying to sell or get people interested in, and we can do it on social media. My book focuses on how to use social media, primarily Twitter. Talk a little bit about Facebook, but primarily Twitter, and how one can use it most effectively, because the reality is it can become an overload. So if you don't know what you're doing, I hear a lot of people say, I don't really like Twitter. It doesn't do much for me. That's probably because they're not really yet aware of how to use it properly for them.
And I know that talking about it too, trying to weed things out of what you're looking for, good and, there's obviously a lot of bad things too, but that's the mental game of it, it seems like, for a lot of people, and this can help to ease that tension a little bit for what people are looking for and to see kind of how to go about what they need to do and what they need to find.
Absolutely. There are ways to filter what you're receiving on the social media. Takes a little bit of work, but it's worth it. And so you can really customize your experience to receive the information that's valuable to you, because the truth is that there is a lot of info out there. And, like anything, there's going to be great info and there's going to be garbage. And then there's just going to be stuff that may be good, but it's just not useful for you. And there are ways that you can filter that. So pick up my book and you'll see how easy to do it.
With this new technology, too, you as a professional and as a doctor, as a chiropractor, how have you seen that benefit, with health and wellness in general overall, just to spread messages and to get people informed about what's out there?
Well, to begin with, just the Internet in general has opened up avenues of information for people such that they can now get information on their health and what they might be experiencing and various treatment possibilities and alternative treatments and so forth. Some doctors think that's bad. They think that too much information in the hands of the consumer can start to convolute things and to create unwanted challenges, but I don't agree with that. I think the more information we have, the more powerful we become. I haven't seen in my practice it be a detriment. On the contrary, I have people come in and say, I think I have this. Sometimes they're right. Sometimes they're not right, but it at least opens the discussion, and I know they're interested enough to be doing their own research. But I get hit up on Twitter every day by followers that are asking me advice on healthcare. They may be looking for a professional in the city in which they live. So I had a lady last night saying that she's never been to a chiropractor before. She's interested in investigating it for a auto accident that she's had, and she didn't know where to go. And she asked if I know anybody in Ottawa, Canada. I don't, but I just blasted it out, and by this morning we got a reply, and looks like we got her a good referral. So that's the power of this medium. It's near instantaneous.
Yeah, it can do a lot of great things for people, and obviously it's going to continue to grow. I mean, for people to use for
sure.
different things like this, and I'm sure you've seen that already, being part of it for a short period of time.
For sure. I mean, it's right now the numbers are that if Facebook was a country, it would actually be the third most populated country in the world. 35% of the world's population has a Facebook account, and that includes big businesses. In fact, I just came across a line from an article in Website Magazine that says, studies show that customers who engage with companies over social media spend 20 to 40% more money with those companies than other customers. If you own a business and you're not on social media, you're hurting your business. You've got to be on there, and you've got to be interactive with people. The marketing climate has changed, and we're now interacting person to person, developing relationships, and that's true for corporations too. Every business needs to be on.
And I know the main thing is the marketing and obviously getting the word out there. Do you feel that it'll be something even in the future too that's going to benefit with communication between patients and yourself for your business in particular?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, like I said, it's the world is changing rapidly. We now have the ability to communicate with people all over the world. People who are in areas like Nigeria or Russia, they may not have the same access that we take for granted here in the United States. I know that my profession, chiropractic, it's getting out into the world more, but there are a lot of people who have no idea about what it is, the principles behind it, how it can help, and social media is a medium to allow us to spread that information. And the more that spreads, we're changing the world.
Yeah, definitely. And I know I've seen your website too. NickCampos.com is the website that people can check out. And you've got a lot of articles on here too that are to me, that I've seen are very valuable information about a lot of different things. Do you pick and choose a topic that you want to go with, or is this from people that request different things on your website? It's
actually a little bit of both. So sometimes I get ideas from questions that people have, and I say, "Oh, that's something people need to know about." Oftentimes, it's just things that are in my head that I decide to touch on. I may go into the current health news and find stories that I find interesting, but it does bring up an important point about social media and we'll just say a presence on the web in general, and that's creating original content. That's a big theme in my book, and I can't stress it enough. What you put up really is going to be more powerful if it's original, if the individual is the person writing it. There are entities called content farms where you can actually buy material, but I don't recommend it because they're selling the same material to multiple sites, and it doesn't help in the search engine optimization, meaning how people can find you, and people really respond to original content. So talk about what you know, talk about what you love, and you'll be powerful on the social media.
Out of the questions you've received too, obviously you've gotten a lot through whether it's media or in person too, but in regards to health and wellness, what are some of the frequently asked things that you have had to answer in regards to, just keeping people in general good shape? What are some things that you would recommend for people that are out there tuning in? You're hearing about obviously you give a lot of tips to people, but what are the biggest tips that you've given to people in regards to health and wellness?
Well, I get a lot of questions on nutrition, and so nutritionists and dietitians, there's a big market for you out there. I get lots of questions on exercise and movement. I produce videos that I put up for free on YouTube, and I tweet them, and we get a lot of responses, a lot of questions on that end. That happens to be one of my areas of specialty, so lots of questions there. But everything from medication questions, which I can't answer because I'm not a medical doctor, but nevertheless, people are asking. So medical doctors, you need to be on Twitter. Chiropractic care, just general mental health questions, lots of stuff coming in.
All right. And again, the name of your book and where people can check it out, too.
It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People on Twitter, and you can check it out on my website, which is nickcampos.com, and just go into the product section, and you'll see it there. And I've also got another book called The 6 Keys to Optimal Health, which is also fantastic. So I encourage people to go on the site and check them both out.
Excellent. Sounds good. Doctor, appreciate the time very much here today, and hopefully get a chance to connect with you again sometime in the near future or sometime down the road.
Kurt, thank you so much.
Dr. Nick Campos joining us today for our Access Health program on KRJB and KRJM.
You've been listening to Access Health on KRJB and KRJM. Streaming live on KRJBradio.com and KRJMradio.com.